that you're stronger than you think. Gather those moments. Remember them. Let them become the foundation of your confidence. Then carry that belief into your actions. Stand tall, shoulders back, eyes forward. Speak as if every word carries weight. Act as if success is already yours. Because when you move like you believe, the world begins to respond. Doors open. Opportunities appear. Not because of luck, but because self-belief shifts reality. You're not waiting for validation. You're not asking for permission. You are claiming what is already within you. Every legend you admire started here. Not with applause, not with talent alone, but with belief. Quiet, consistent, and unshakable. This is not ego. This is not delusion. This is truth, spoken before it becomes visible. You will be doubted. You will stumble, but your belief must remain. Not because you're perfect, but because you're persistent. So train your mind. Feed it strength. Starve it of doubt. Surround yourself with words, people, and actions that reinforce who you are becoming. Speak your victories into existence. And when fear rises, face it with the fire of belief. The world cannot stop someone who refuses to quit. Someone who believes so deeply in their purpose, their potential, and their power that nothing can shake them. Be that person. Build that belief. And watch the world move to meet you. Harness the power of resilience. Life has a peculiar way of testing every ounce of strength within us. It does not ask for our permission before it sends storms our way. It simply does. And when it does, it is not the easiest path that defines our destiny, but the inner power we summon in the darkest of hours. This power, my friend, is resilience. It is the invisible force that pulls a man up when the world believes he will stay down. It is the quiet determination in the heart that whispers, try again, when failure screams, quit. History is generous in its examples, but one that stands as a towering testament is that of Thomas Edison. Imagine thousands upon thousands of attempts, all of them seemingly leading nowhere. The world would have scoffed. The critics would have laughed. Even close friends might have offered sympathetic advice to give it all up. And yet, Mr. Edison stood unmoved. He did not view each failed attempt as a defeat, but as a lesson. I haven't failed, he once said. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. These were not mere words. They were the battle cries of a man who understood that every setback was simply a step forward in disguise. What Mr. Edison practiced was not blind persistence. It was a philosophy of resilience. He did not curse the darkness. He sought the light. He didn't resent the struggle. He welcomed it as the crucible in which greatness is forged. That is the lesson life offers us through such men, to see obstacles not as barriers, but as necessary thresholds. Challenges are not punishment. They are preparation. Each trial, each disappointment, each moment of despair is sculpting us, chiseling away the excess to reveal the warrior within. And so when you find yourself weary, when your dreams appear distant, and the weight of the world presses upon your chest, pause, but do not retreat. Instead, remind yourself, this pain is not the end, it is the beginning of your growth. The muscles of the mind, the strength of the spirit, and the courage of the heart, they are all built through resistance. You sharpen your skills not in moments of ease, but in the fires of difficulty. Wisdom is not handed out in times of joy, it is earned through the soul's wrestling with hardship. You must begin to expect resistance, and more importantly, respect it. For it is resistance that builds resilience. It is through falling that we learn to rise, and it is through rising again and again that we become unbreakable. Remember, resilience is not about perfection. It is not about a flawless path or a record untouched by defeat. It is about the courage to stand up every single time you fall. It is about choosing hope over despair, effort over apathy, and faith over fear. The resilient man does not wait for life to be easy. He grows stronger because it is hard. So let the world test you. Let it throw what it may. For each time you rise from the ashes, you do not return the same. You return wiser, stronger, more prepared. That is the secret. Every setback is a setup for your next triumph. Rise again and again until rising becomes your nature, and nothing, not even life itself, can keep you down for long. 8. Master your mindset. Your mindset dictates your future. This is not merely a motivational phrase. It is a fundamental truth of life. Every thought you nurture, every belief you entertain, and every perspective you adopt becomes the lens through which you view the world, and ultimately the map you follow. If that lens is clouded with negativity, doubt, and limitation, then every opportunity will appear as a threat. Every setback will feel like the end. But if that lens is polished with optimism, resilience, and a belief in growth, then even the darkest paths begin to reveal light. Imagine your mind as a garden. In this garden, your thoughts are the seeds. The mindset you carry, positive or negative, is the soil in which those seeds grow. You cannot expect roses from a soil filled with bitterness and fear, but plant seeds of courage, gratitude, determination, and hope in rich, fertile soil, and the flowers of your future will blossom with beauty and strength. You hold complete power over what seeds you plant. That power lies in your ability to choose your thoughts. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are the gardener. You decide what grows in the field of your life. It begins with awareness. Catch yourself when negative self-talk creeps in. Phrases like, "I can't do this," or "this always happens to me," or "I'm not good enough," are not facts. They are patterns, habits of the mind, and like all habits, they can be broken. Every time you hear yourself planting a weed, uproot it. Replace it with a seed of possibility. Start saying, "I can and I will." Say, "This challenge is my teacher." Say, "Even if I fall, I will rise stronger." With repetition, these thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs become the architecture of your action. Consider the lives of those who have achieved greatness. What sets them apart is not luck or an absence of hardship. It is the way they think. They have trained their minds to interpret struggle as growth, failure as feedback, and uncertainty as adventure. They have mastered their inner world so they can rise in the outer one. You must begin to do the same. Feed your mind with inspiration. Read the stories of those who endured and emerged. Surround yourself with voices and environments that reflect who you want to become, not who you used to be. Seek to yourself with the same encouragement you would offer someone you love, because you are someone worthy of love and worthy of belief. Let your mind become your strongest ally, not your greatest saboteur. When the storms of life arrive, and they will, your mindset will decide whether you are washed away or whether you rise drenched, undefeated. Success, after all, is not only about external achievement. It is first and foremost about internal mastery. This is the silent secret of all those who succeed over the long term. They do not just build businesses, families, or empires. They build inner fortresses. They cultivate stillness in chaos, clarity in confusion, and belief in the face of fear. Their lives are not perfect, but their perspective allows them to grow through what they go through. So take control of your mind today. Stop waiting for the world to change and begin by changing your thoughts. Instead of reacting, start creating. Instead of wishing, start doing. Instead of doubting, start believing. This shift does not happen overnight, but every day, every choice, every moment of awareness strengthens your ability to direct your life rather than drift through it. And soon, you will find that your outer world is beginning to reflect the quiet power you have nurtured within. By mastering your mindset, you do not eliminate hardship, but you transform it. You turn obstacles into stepping stones. You turn setbacks into setups for greater success. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Watch me," because a powerful mind can overcome any limitation, and a focused spirit can achieve what once seemed impossible. The garden of your future is waiting. What will you choose to plant today? Ideas without action are worthless. You may have the most brilliant vision, the most detailed plan, or the most inspiring dream, but if you never move, if you never act, then all of it fades into nothingness. The world does not reward the ones who merely think, imagine, or intend. It rewards the ones who do. The ones who rise each morning not just with purpose in their hearts, but action in their hands. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure. It is the regret of never having tried. It is the silence of an unwritten book, the absence of a song never sung, the emptiness of a business never built. Dreams are not destroyed by critics nor stolen by time. They are quietly buried under years of procrastination and fear. You must understand, success belongs to the doers, the ones who act despite fear, despite uncertainty, despite the odds. The first step is never perfect. It may be clumsy, it may be small, but it is the only thing that separates potential from progress. Your vision is only as strong as your willingness to take the first step now. You do not need to see the entire staircase to begin climbing. You do not need everything to be in place before you move. Begin with what you have. Do what you can. Start where you are, because the moment you begin, momentum begins. And momentum is a force more powerful than inspiration. Action fuels action. Movement begets movement. One small step leads to another, and soon the path begins to reveal itself. Action builds confidence. With every task you complete, no matter how small, You teach your mind that you are capable. You train your spirit to push past resistance. You show your fear that it does not control you. Each step you take becomes a stone laid in the foundation of your success. And the more you act, the more competent you become, not because everything becomes easy, but because you become stronger. It is not the occasional burst of energy that changes your life. It is the consistent, deliberate effort you bring every single day. Greatness is not found in grand gestures. It is hidden in the quiet, relentless pursuit of a goal, one action at a time. What you do repeatedly defines who you become. So act decisively. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It does not exist. Conditions will never be flawless. The clock will never pause long enough for you to feel entirely ready. But readiness is not a requirement for movement. Commitment is. Boldness is. Belief is. These are the forces that drive action. Our success story begins not when others believe in you, but when you believe in yourself enough to act, and it grows stronger with every step you take. If you stumble, rise. If you fail, learn. If you doubt, move anyway. Because nothing changes until you change it. No dream lives until you breathe life into it. Remember this truth. Your future depends entirely on what you choose to do today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. The decisions you make, the tasks you complete,